So, and speaking of a ship, we're gonna move on to, since you guys are moving into the ship, look at the map Kuzon made. Isn't it fucking lovely?
Hmm.
It's our beautiful home.
I didn't make the. It's assumed that up this flight of stairs is the like the command center where everybody sits around. I haven't mapped that out yet because I've just been getting occupied.
Well, of course you realize, Kuzon, that since there's a map now, that means there can be a fight, which means that if somebody attacks us here, it's all your fault for making this.
Exactly.
Oh, you know, I mean, I'm sure I bought ship defenses just so that I would never be forced to use them.
Sure. Speaking of everything there, as you're coming up towards the docking bay, you do see like the man who was, you know, ahead of everything. Like he was making sure everything was nice and tidy. And he's like, Kuzon, I have finished repairs here. Your bill has already been sent to the proper places, and I just need you to sign right here.
If I just like review, I'm just gonna skim. Is it like papers upon papers upon papers? Like is it a bunch of written bullshit?
Essentially, it's just, you know, the general contractor's assignment. It's like, I agree that everything was done up to snuff and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'll like, I was here while they were doing it, so it's like, yeah. Kuzon will sign it, just confident that he's still going to have to go through and change things that they've done.
So he's like, right, thank you, have a good day. By the way, I did notice something strange about the ship we didn't get a chance to tell you.
Oh?
When we were, when we were installing the drift engine, we noticed the ship didn't have any connectors. Like, there was no space for a drift engine. So it must be a really old ship if it did have drift drive capability.
Yeah, I pulled it out of a meteorite myself.
Ah, I see. Oh, take good care of her. She's nice and space-worthy now. Have a good day. And he's like walking away, quite pleased with his work.
I don't know about that, but I know that we have some cards on the table, and apparently there's a pretty wicked game going on currently that's on hold, and I like that.
And Ataika and Aiden are walking in the door, and they see the cards, and Ataika just says, Aiden, this time I will prevail.
I got you on the ropes this time for sure.
You have cards in your shirt, I know you do.
Nonsense, they're in my sleeve. Know the difference.
Ha!
Damn it!
Yeah, I'm going to, I am going to, like, I'm gonna sit down at the table while, like, Ataika and Aiden are playing, and, like, Kuzon's not, he's just sitting there just watching it, and just while they're playing, he's gonna be like, so, Aiden, I think you have some explaining to do.
Oh? What's up, Kuzon?
I'm just gonna bring up, like, there's, like, I imagine there's, like, a television or something. It's gonna bring it up and just be like, who did you piss off?
I mean, do you have a few hours? And as he says that, he says, haha! Aiden shows his hand, I have 3 kings!
Oh, trying to avoid it. But if you bring it up on the screen, I can tell you more about the bounty since you guys didn't have time to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, one moment. Where is it?
Since I have 3 kings, Ataika, that means you have to do a headstand.
Right, essentially, what it says is to bring him back alive, and once again, the money has changed to 30,000 credits for some reason. And one second, he's to be brought back alive to a planet Triaxis, and he is to be confirmed alive and captured before the coordinates will be sent to you to drop off.
Kuzon's like looking at the number change. How many hours is it? It's probably only been like a few hours bar, right?
Yeah, it's only been a few hours.
Yeah.
You can tell by the history of a price that has changed several times already.
It's like, why? It's so... Who is it that's coming after you, and why are you it's like, why did your price jump by 22,000 credits in only the past 3 hours?
I'm insulted, Kuzon. You don't think I'm worth that much?
I mean, I'm half tempted just to drop you off, but you're a respected crewmate, and I have just enough. I have just enough respect for you not to do that.
Hey, look, Kuzon. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I have it all under control. I've got some of my boys looking into it. I'm sure that things will blow over in no time. They're working hard to get rid of all the evidence and delete the bounty. It's gonna be fine.
I'm just saying, like, if we're gonna be traveling with you and you're gonna a bunch of bounties ahead, because somebody tougher than us is gonna come cracking our skulls for you if your price gets too high.
By the way, his price is now 5,000.
What does that mean?
See? It's fine. It's fine.
This isn't the stock market. Who's doing this?
Hey,
It seems like the quote-unquote owner of a contract keeps changing it.
hey, look. Kuzon, don't sweat the little details, man. You just gotta live life and see what happens sometimes, you know? Hey, here, how's about this? Look at that. I only have five kings in my hand. There is a possibility that you can beat me if you have 5 aces. Why don't you play with us, man? I'll deal you in. How about that?
What kind of fucked up game of cards are you playing? What was the name of the planet that Aiden was to be delivered to?
Namek.
Again, sorry.
Triaxis.
Triaxis? Where is that?
It's the Dragon World planet.
Oh, fancy.
That's not a good place to be wanted on.
It's this one here.
It's also got.
It's
like,
funny. I
super long
actually gave Kuzon Draconic as a language.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I thought it might be useful, and I was a lizard, so it kind of made sense that I might be able to relate to.
Well, that doesn't bode well for me now, does it? By the way, at this point,
Yeah, I'm
Aiden...
just going to. I'm gonna just do. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to talk over there. I am gonna do some research on Triaxis and see if I can figure out who might have placed this bounty. Like, if I can dig up any information on them. Like, I'll walk away after we go through this whole spiel.
You notice that Aiden is still trying to play the game, but he's sweating a little bit and he's paying attention to you as you're leaving, Kuzon. And then Aiden pipes up to Ataika. Ataika, you know what, man? This doesn't work. We're doing this all wrong. Instead of battling each other, we should battle everybody else. We should get them involved, and since we have the experience advantage, we should just dominate them. Tell you what, why don't we get Kuzon in on this deal? Let's see if we can beat the shit out of him, huh? How's about that?
I feel like the robot is catching on to your ploy.
Kuzon would not willingly participate in this. He's played actual 52 card games with people on like mining platforms and stuff. He's not gonna get involved in your fucking in your messed up
Hyperdimensional poker strip Yahtzee.
poker strip Yahtzee Connect 4.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think I would. I think I would like figure out the surface level information of what I know about Triaxis, and then if Kuzon doesn't find anything like suitable, he's gonna be like, well, and then he's just immediately going to go the back doorway of trying to figure out info to this if he can.
So, as you are looking through the info net on Triaxis, you do know several details about it, which I'm going to bring up now. Essentially, the planet itself is, well, as Joe mentioned before, is dominated by, or at least half of it is dominated by dragons, both chromatic and metallic. In the Drakelands, there are a few metallics, but mainly chromatics that actually establish corporations. In fact, some of the biggest corporations in the Pact World systems are owned by dragons.
Okay.
And right now, given its strange orbit around the sun, it has several hundred years of like winter and then summer. Right now it's in its winter ellipsis, but it's coming close to its summer that it should be.
I think that kind of makes sense, like a retroactive thing. If they have so many like high profile businesses and stuff like that, it probably makes sense that Kuzon would have picked up Draconic. It's like doing his scrapping, like having to read manuals in their language and stuff like that if they're like a big producer of goods.
Yeah, there's a few places like that.
Another thing, because Kuzon pays attention to details when it comes to technology and weapons, he's probably noticed that Aiden's belt that he uses to store his ammo and other gear is very high tech, and it's actually from one of those companies.
And then Kuzon's just like, Kuzon goes through like hours of research. He's like sitting at his computer, just like peeling away at all the information he can, trying to like get as much information as possible. And he's like on his like digital board, he has like a bunch of like Wikipedia articles linked together, and he's sitting there sweating, like data pads spewed everywhere. And then Kuzon just like his eyes light up, and it's like, his last name is Pendragon. That's it. He's just like trying, like it took him like 4 hours to figure that out.
From you also looking through the back net, you would also know when the price changes, the thing is, somebody logs in, changes the price, then it logs out, and then that same person logs in and then logs out again. Like basically change, log in, like in other words, it's either they can't make up their mind in the moment, or it's multiple people.
Yeah, what I will do is I'll send a message to Aiden's communicator and being like, after I do all this, and be like inviting him to like meet me in my tech lab. I won't insist anywhere if Prava and Thiveron want to do their thing. Take up some time.
Yeah, actually, Prava does want to talk to Thiveron, because Thiveron is also mystically inclined, and Prava was left something by Cole that he'd like to look into. So Prava's gonna head towards Thiveron's chamber, and he's gonna send like a telepathic message in the door instead of just knocking, like, Thiveron, are you available?
Yes, you can enter.
Okay, and he slides the door open and enters in, and he's holding what was it, Ash, that was left for Prava by Cole? Can you describe this?
Right. What I can describe it as, essentially, the dagger itself, around the handle there's old frayed bandages. The dagger, the rest of the object is like a solid shard almost of, well, black, like onyx almost. And on the end there is a purple gem held onto the shard through a small star-like object that is gripping onto the shard and keeping the gem in place.
This dagger looks to be a storied artifact. I know yours is an Order of Tales. I was wondering if you'd have any insight into this.
And I'm going to cast Detect Magic on the dagger.
As you cast Detect Magic, you do discover that it's the same type of magic that you sensed before, and now you know what type it is. It's definitely graviton magic. But you do sense something strange. You sense one set of magic from the dagger and one sense of magic from the gem.
Okay, so can I cast Identify on the gem?
It is named the Black Shard, and it's a lesser gem. And its critical is push by 5 foot in any direction, while its special is a variant boost 1d3 2 times a day.
So, say, Prava, this is very powerful magic weapon. And then I tell him, like, the specifics of what the gem allows the dagger to do. And you got this from Cole?
Yes, he threw it down to me before he left.
I would be cautious with it. It may be tainted with any foul magic that turned him into what he became.
Right, essentially, the dagger itself, the shard, is also charged with magic, separate from the gem. The dagger itself seems to have some sort of gravitational pull to it. And probably depending on how you make use of it, it could have different properties depending on what you make it into. right now it seems to like basically have the variant boost ability of the gem that it's plugged into. But if you remove the gem becomes a Soul Island weapon, and the dagger becomes its own thing.
I'll relay that information and say it would have taken a very, very skilled Solarian to create magic like that.
Solarian. I've never heard that term before. Is that what we are? Is that what Cole and I have become?
It is those who manifest the powers of the universe, the universal cycle between creation and destruction. That is where you draw your powers.
So it's not just us then. Do you
No.
know where I could meet more of these Solarians?
They tend to travel a lot. As I said, a lot of them actually study this phenomenon of creation and destruction, but you will find many followers of the Solarian ways on Idari among the Kasatha there.
Well, perhaps if we're in the area, I could find more answers.
You may be able to even find a teacher that may be able to help you save your friend.
I hope so. I never wanted to grow this power, but I'm going to need to be stronger when I see him again.
It may be the only way. And I hate to be the one to tell you this, because I've been through a similar situation where I lost somebody very, very close to me. But whatever magic is affecting him is unnatural, and he may not be the person that you remembered him being, even though he may look like it and sound like it. He may not have your best interests at heart. The undead do not tend to do good things to the people they knew in their life, whether they mean to or not.
Well, he seems to still be him, but I'll keep an eye out next time we meet. You might be right.
Like
Thank
I said,
you.
normally you will just see shadows, strands of who they used to be. But that does not mean they're that person anymore. It is just a very hollow reflection, a husk, if you will. Almost a disguise.
Prava looks sad at that.
I know it's
It's very
not.
disheartening to...
I know it's not a very good prospect for your friend, but I am not an expert necessarily in the undead, and maybe the Solarians on Idari will be able to tell you more. But you should prepare yourself for the possibility that the best way you might be able to help your friend is to end whatever is animating him and allow his soul to rest properly.
But it didn't seem like a shell, and he was sending money to Dia. He was clearly still attached to.
Like I said, sometimes the undead retain shadows of their former self, their surface wants and their surface reactions to the people that they loved and knew. But that does not mean there's something more sinister hiding beneath that. I'm simply saying you should be wary. Not that that is the only possibility, but that is the likelihood. Prava, that thing in your chest that I heard you talking to Cole about.
Yes, I was going to get a medical scan on it as soon as possible. I didn't know there was anything in there.
A medical scan may not provide the answers you seek. You may want to have a Solarian master.
Prava looks down.
Man.
I don't know like exactly how like Sheeran anatomy works. Like, is this like near his heart? Is it near his stomach? Is this like in his incubation chamber? Like,
essentially, it's near your torso area. It's where your chitin has split. 'Cause it goes from split down your neck and basically near your chest. You do see like a small like old wound there that wasn't there long ago, but it's not exactly a wound anymore. More like a scar on your chin.
What I can But I can tell you, Prava, about whatever is in your chest, is that it is likely the source of your newfound Solarian powers, but there is something different about it.
Do you think if I
fear...
move it, I can go back to normal?
I'm not sure about that, but I fear that as long as it remains in you or you master your powers, you may share the same fate as your friend. So you should have a Solarian master analyze whatever is in your chest for you.
Add that to the list of goals. Prava looks both thankful and worried, and he excuses himself to go think about these new insights.
Thiveron just silently lets him leave the room, knowing that there's not much more you can say to make him feel not as like Thiveron realizes that he's given him even more questions than answers. He's just going to allow Prava to meditate on them.
So, yeah, now you have 2 magical artifacts. Technically 3 if you count probably the one that's inside Prava's chest. Okay.
Yeah, after I'm done with the game with Ataika, I'm gonna head to where Kuzon wants to see me.
And as you like open up the door, you notice a couple of things. You notice that in a kind of spread across Kuzon's room are like various like mineral samples that you'd be familiar with from a planet that we have in common. You see that Kuzon like has like a giant sun lamp like installed at the top of his room, and like as you step into this room, like the humidity, like the temperature kind of increases by a few degrees. And he also has like this strange like cactus plant installed in the back of his room that like slowly is swaying on its own accord.
Is that cactus plant from Akiton?
You probably, if you're familiar, you'd probably, yeah.
Oh, cool! You have one of those. Haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah. You know, I decided Akiton was not really for me, but sentimental. I guess.
That's right. We never did get to talk much about that. I mean, considering everything that happened with Prava and his friend. But yeah, how are you doing, Kuzon? I mean, you had to leave your planet behind and all that stuff. Plus, don't take this the wrong way or anything, but I don't exactly know any other males from your species that are this small.
Well, traditionally, the males are less likely to go leaving the underground catacombs, stuff like that. And anyway, and you can see Kuzon's actually like getting flustered as he's like talking. But he's like, anyway, this isn't about me. This is about you. I have to talk to you about something.
Well, I'm flattered, Kuzon, but I really think it's interesting to learn more about you and your life on Akiton. You get the feeling that Aiden doesn't want to talk about himself.
You get the idea that Kuzon doesn't want to. We're both just being obstinate and not. It's like how. Here's what we're going to do. All right. If you're going to be difficult, I'm going to ask you a question, and you ask me a question, and we're gonna be honest.
I mean, I've been anything but so far, haven't I? I'm gonna roll bluff. Oh,
I mean, I think Kuzon is pretty wary, but I will. He is not exceptionally good at reading people, so that's okay.
Yeah, there we go. That's a decent bluff. Uh-oh. Dude, do you know what's happening right now? This is the Wild West. We're just standing, looking at each other, and you can hear a pin drop. We're just staring down each other like a cowboy's about to fucking throw down.
I'm still serious. If a dragon shows up on our doorstep and demands you, if I have to choose between fighting a dragon and turning you in, if I don't know why, I'm going to turn you in. Like, I'm not joking.
That's fair.
I'd find it a lot easier to justify defending you if this kind of situation comes to bite us in the ass if I know why.
Don't worry
I'm just
about
letting
it,
you
Kuzon.
know that.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Kuzon, man. Jeez, you worry too much. How do you go through life always worrying about stuff? Sometimes you just gotta let go, man, and enjoy the moment.
I have anxiety about everything.
Aiden just gives him a deadpan look. You? No.
Kuzon like leans and's like, I'll give you a little bit of information if you want to reconsider being a little bit more open. Give and take, that's what we'll call it. As far as anybody on Aki is supposed to be aware, your friend Kuzon is dead.
Well, like I mentioned, I did run up some of your backgrounds, but no, that's not actually one of the things that I got back. How come?
I don't want to get into that right now.
You didn't steal his identity or something, did you?
No. It's, you understand that with Ishketi, it's not super formal. I grew up in an underground society of dozens of others very similar to me.
How's about this? I don't ask, you don't tell me. We just go on, we go on with our lives, and you know, whatever happens, happens. It's fine. Which is the kind of mentality that I would really appreciate when you ask me about Triaxis. It's not really something I feel comfortable talking about. At least not right now.
Kuzon offers up his metallic hand. His bio hand is still like it's like hanging limp at his side a little bit, and he's just like, "We'll put this dispute on truce for now."
Yeah, that sounds about right. And I'm gonna give him a fist bump. Don't worry about it. No matter what happens out there, I'll make sure you get out in one piece. I mean, look at how small you are. How hard can it be to keep you in one piece? And I'm gonna laugh.
Kuzon like just looks at his metal arm and looks back up, and it's like harder than and looks at his head and looks at you. It's like harder than I thought anyway.
I mean, you've got Ataika now watching your back as well, right? You'll be fine. Don't worry about it too much. And I'm gonna and Aiden is gonna subconsciously adjust his belt a little bit to hide the name of the company that it came from. Anyway, good talk, good talk. It's almost dinner time and I'm starved. I think I'm gonna go to the mess hall and start cooking some grub up. You want something?
Yeah, give me something greasy.
Yeah, sounds about right. Don't worry, I got something in mind. Give me like 10 minutes, alright? Don't be late. It's the greasy food's pretty shitty when it gets cold.
What are you guys going to be doing right now?
I guess we can use the drift drive to get to the asteroid area, or at least close to it. But I think we want to be traveling at like normal speed so that we can activate our sensors and like be as perceptive as possible, right? Like we don't want to zoom past the asteroids if we're scanning for people.
That's fair, I guess. Yeah, let's do that.
So, as you decouple from Absalom Station and start heading off into the inky black void of space, you activate your drift drive, cutting out all non-essential systems.
Like oxygen, light.
Those are probably the only ones that stay on. And as all the other systems are shut off, including your shields and the like, and your thrusters, you can feel the hum of a drift engine as what starts to surround the ship it feels unnatural almost, before suddenly the ship lurches forward and woof, you suddenly vanish.
Thiveron wants to go ask Aiden a question. So he's going to go to Aiden's quarters at some point after these other conversations have taken place. Just kind of knock on the door.
Yeah?
It's Thiveron. Do you have a second?
Yeah, sure thing, man. Come in. I'm just tidying up the place.
So Thiveron comes in and he just kind of nervously jostles his armor, and he just says, "I don't usually ask favors of people that I have not known for very long, but
what's up, man? Shoot.
Seem to trust each other. You mentioned earlier that you have a reliable source of information when you need to find things out.
Yep.
I'm searching for somebody, my old master. I was wondering if you would be able to help look for him.
I mean, yeah, sure, I don't mind. Many of my boys actually specialize in reconnaissance and information gathering. Maybe I can get you in contact with one of them and you can give them some more details. They can have a look for you if you're interested.
That would be wonderful, actually. I've been searching for him for years and I have found only traces and shadows.
What happened to him? Why did you guys fall out of touch?
One day he just vanished. Alari and I mean, my friend and I, we were studying one day and he just never came back to the town.
Were you
It
two
was
very
not
close?
like him. Yes, he was like a second father. He oversaw my birth as a user of the magical art. He rescued me from the drift, actually, once.
Yeah, that's very strange, considering how close you guys were for him to just up and disappear like that. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll contact some of my boys and see who's available, and I'll tell him to give you a hand and see if he can find something about it. Don't worry. If we do find something out, we'll follow up on that clue. Make sure at least he's alright, if nothing else.
If it helps you pick personnel, he's in very old Kasatha from Idari. We're a priest of Talavet like myself.
Aiden takes out his small electrical device and jots down the information that Thiveron gives him about the details. Okay. Yeah, I'll see what I can do about it.
His name is Augarian.
So Ash, if it's okay with you, add that to my jobs for the mercenaries. Next time they're available, I'm gonna have them look up some information about this.
Understood. I will prep that for next time.
Alright?
And I'm in roll 20 again. Thank God for that.
Luckily we're in transit, so time passes quickly. Tell you what, actually most of my boys are busy right now. I've sent them off to do a few jobs that are pretty essential for the development of HQ, but they should be available in a few days. Once they are, I'll make sure that they put your order on priority so they find out what they can about it, and I'll get back to you.
Aiden, I don't know what to say. I've never had these resources available for my search. If there's anything at all that you need, you only have to ask.
Don't worry about it too much, man. I mean, you've proven yourself more than capable in combat. I mean, I can have all the resources and weapons available, but hey, can do magic. And Aiden shrugs his shoulders, even though he knows that you can't actually see him. So your services have been very invaluable in combat. You know, just make sure that no magic voodoo gets near me, and we're square. How's that?
Well, speaking of that, I thought that is kind of a down payment on this information. I would tell you I've been looking into our potential combat encounters against these pirates, and I've seen some that don't work out very well for us on account of piloting errors. Now, I know you're a very accomplished pilot and very proud of your skill.
Yes, I have about 1 month worth of experience already.
But just make sure you pay very close attention to the way the ships are positioned.
Yeah, I'm gonna level with you, Thiveron. I'm not very confident in my piloting skills. It's not really something I practiced, but tell you what, I'll do what I can, considering, you know, what's the worst that can happen? The ship blowing up and all of us dying? Let's try to avoid that outcome.
Well, after all, you do seem fairly gifted in most technical skills like this, and besides, you have the insight of Talavet on your side as long as I'm around.
Yeah, let's go with that, I guess. Or dumb luck, whichever works for you. Anyway, don't worry about it too much, man. I mean, we built this ship to be tough and fast, so if things don't go our way, we'll just get out of there and just be done with it. It's not like we're under contract to specifically kill a number of these pirates. As long as we do something out there, we'll get paid. And if things start getting hairy, we'll just get out of Dodge. Don't worry about it.
I feel very safe with you at the piloting station.
Q2 when I almost killed us at our first takeoff.
I attribute that more to it being your general sense of danger, Great Formolio. And with that, I'll walk away. He was obviously teasing you about that.
Yeah, I figured as much. He's getting it. He's getting it.
He's getting more comfortable with everybody.
Ash, did you manage to fix your roll 20?
Yes, I did.
Also, that was my hint saying that for the day that we are engaging these pirates, you have that one free D20.
Good. Don't worry. I'm the best pirate in the galaxy. I never miss.
Of course. Meanwhile, the ship is traveling through the drift, a very lavender and purple expanse of space. Random bits of debris and pieces of other realms float within this vast expanse. Within the drift, you do spot a few others passing you by. A rare sight, given the infinite expansion of this realm. I can actually use this picture, huh? 1 second. Basically, you spot us.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna ask, just out of curiosity, in terms of like actual mechanics, I imagine it's pretty much impossible to like aggress or like shoot at somebody from the drift, right? Because of the speed everything's moving.
You're in a totally different realm. Essentially, what you're doing is that you're going into a different realm and driving normally. Your drift engine only gets you into a realm, then you turn everything back on. You drive through a realm, then use your drift engine to get out again.
It's more like a wormhole sort of thing.
Yeah. So in other words, this is a totally different expansion of space. You can actually see like a squadron of Absalom fighters coming through the drift currently, coming past your windows and passing you on by as they head back to Absalom.
Can I tap the fuzzy dices and honk the horn? Or do ships not work like that?
I guess the equivalent would be to flick your ping on and off again. You know, your ID transmitter.
Yeah, I'm basically not contacting them. I'm just, you know, giving them a sign. Yup, we're here. How's it going, lads? Kind of deal.
Like flashing your headlights, essentially. Like they do like one of them does exactly the same. Like turns their thing on and carries on driving back to Absalom.
Oh, there's something you don't see every day. Hey, Kuzon, you think it's safe for us to pass by other ships so close in here?
You know, maybe not, but it's fine.
Yeah, if you say so, you're the engineer.
Thiveron steps up and says, well, the drift is mostly like material space. It is just the plane created by the machine god Triune. It's not like we're going to rip any dimensional holes if we were to fight in the drift. It's not really that unstable. It's its own plane unto itself with its own laws governing it. We can't actually destroy ourselves fighting somebody else here. Huh. Not in any way that we couldn't do in the material plane anyway.
Man, that all sounds like complicated mumbo jumbo to me, but hey, if you two think it's alright, then I've got nothing to swear about.
The only thing that we should be careful of is this realm leeches from others when people enter it. And there are stories of things being dragged from other planes in front of ships entering it and then them crashing because they were not being vigilant. So make sure you watch out for that.
Wait, we had to use a special engine to get in this place. How come other things can just enter it just randomly? How's that work?
The realm itself pulls things into the realm along with the ship. It's
Wait.
the price for travel.
You're talking like it's something that's alive.
Not the realm itself, but the god Triune is very much alive.
I don't
Like
know
I said,
about,
this is his domain, and that is his price for our using his domain.
I don't know about that one, Thiveron. I guess I'm gonna have to be with Kuzon on this one. That sounds like a lot of religious mumbo-jumbo to me. I don't know about that one. A machine god?
He points
making
out
hell?
in the window, and you see, like, in the picture, this floating Gothic steeple just floating through space, crumbled. And he says, well, there's your proof. That doesn't just end up here.
What the hell is that? Jesus Christ.
Why? What the-
Kuzon just turns to Aiden and it's like, things get sucked here sometimes.
Yes.
Aiden looks incredibly disappointed with Kuzon's just explanation. Just, this is it, okay? That's it, fine. And I'll say nothing else. Did Kuzon's brain just shut down, like he's done with this conversation?
Okay, so as you come out of the drift, you see the expanse of the asteroids before you. And as you do notice that there's a line of convoys heading towards a merchant route. Did you wish to follow them?
If you've already displayed the map, I don't see it. Do I need to reload?
No, I'm just saying. Are you gonna follow them, or are you gonna take your own route?
So we see our convoy. Like, did we blip them and be like, "Hey, we're here," and us and be like, "Yeah, we're the guys."
They're not specifically your guys. Your job is just to destroy pirates. This just seems to be a merchant convoy on
I'm
this
gonna
route.
assume that since I'm piloting, Kuzon is probably in the bridge with me as well, at the very least. So I'm gonna lean over and say, "Hey, Kuzon, it seems like we've got some piggy banks in front of us. Maybe we should follow after them, see if they don't, entice some pirates to get violent."
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't just like sneak up on these guys. They might mistake us for
Yeah,
pirates.
no, I'm gonna make comms. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're definitely
I would
contacting them.
really-
I'm just like,
Yeah.
maybe we should follow them because they're basically the bait.
Sure, but Prava's gonna open communications with the convoy. He's gonna just pick the nearest ship and he's gonna send them a blip.
Hello, this is the convoy SS Vagadon.
This is Captain Prava of the. Did we name the ship the Perseverance?
Perseverance, yeah.
Of the Perseverance. We're on a mission hunting pirates. And we heard that they appear in this area. Were you aware that this was a trafficked area by pirates?
This is the only stable route through this aurora. Of course they would hound us, but we suspected we could probably get through. But if you're offering free protection, then I won't turn it down.
That was our intention, yes. We wish to shadow your ships so that if any pirates approach, we can go in for them.
Fair enough, then. Carry on.
Cool.
Um,
The rest of my crew want to add to this
Yeah.
communication?
I'll just message and it's like, so that we have the most information available to us. Are any of your ships armed? Is there any armed, capable individuals among you?
Each ship has a turret of its own, if that's what you mean.
Ah, good enough.
Let us know. I'm gonna lean over and address Prava. Hey, tell them to let us know if they spot something. They probably have some good sensors on them as well.
Of course, yes. If you guys detect anything, be sure to hail us and let us know. The more communication, the better for us.
Understood.
Yeah, I'll also I'll be active on the scanners. I'll switch. So I think I'll switch from engineering role to, because there's, so Thiveron's our arcane officer, right? Like the arcane.
No, I'm a divine.
Oh, this is the word.
I cast divine magic.
So like my job is to like switch between science and engineering depending.
Well, your magic officer can use the scan action.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I do have a version of scanning. I put that cheat sheet up.
Oh, so
you can
your
see that.
scanning's different than my scanning though.
No, it's the same action.
Okay.
It's just he uses.
It's
different
called something
things.
different, but it has the same result.
Okay. I think we'll both be scanning in our own way because Kuzon, to be
You're not gonna
truthful,
trust my
Kuzon, you'd be
scans.
like, I'm gonna do some whamby jamby magic scans, and Kuzon's like, I'm gonna use actual scans real fast.
Yeah, the way mine works, I'm not entirely sure. I shouldn't say that so confidently because I've never had a magic officer in my other group. But mine is divine information about the enemy starship. On a success, I learn the next item plus 1 item for every 5 exceeding a check on the following list: basic info, defenses, weapon, load, or other. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much the same. But yeah, that's whoopee doopy magic stuff, and it's literally called scrying.
Wow.
Right. As you've basically travel along with them, you enter into this Prava, and after a few moments, you arrive in a densely packed area.
Oh, that looks badass. I love that. Quick question, Ash. Is that a ship or is that some kind of living creature?
That is a living creature.
Sometimes they're the same in Starfinder. Ask
Oh
Prava.
yeah. That's true. Sharon's colonies literally have their own people as ships.
Yeah,
Ash, I want to know more
bioships.
about this. Tell me more. Tell me everything.
Their doors are sphincters. They're literally called sphincters. And me being immature got a really good laugh at it.
But these are generally kind of like, how can I explain it? Kind of like space whales, or space manta rays is probably the best way to describe them.
No, I mean about these rocks with electricity running in between them.
Oh, that. Well, you're gonna have to scan them to find out.
Oh, maybe it's an anomaly. Oh, artifact stalker.
Yeah.
So what is this cloud? Is this like interference with our electronics mumbo jumbo, or is this gonna rust our ship?
That is basically
I would
space.
say that's something for a science officer to figure out, wouldn't it?
Yeah, basically. Like, you don't know what, I'm not going to say what's made of or what it can do. I'm just saying it looks like space dust, you know, general space dust.
It's 62% iron, 20% zinc.
I mean, I'll scan it.
Some bad reason has some Kuzon DNA in it. I don't know why.
Must never
Oh, must have mined that.
Because Kuzon DNA.
Just been blown.
Eventually, everything will have Kuzon DNA.
It was
Okay.
all possessed.
Going back to this, is this a normal thing or is this an anomaly?
That is definitely not normal.
What?
Electricity
What did I
between
just
two
say about our
asteroids
science
seems like kind of fucky, you know?
Yeah, like you can look, you can tell that it's probably not normal, but you're gonna again, as Thiveron keeps saying, you need a science officer to do some actual scanning.
Or we can just have our mystic get on that and he can sacrifice a chicken and do a voodoo ritual.
Technically, he is your science officer.
Kuzon just
Like, I don't have any skills
turns-
to actually scan anything.
Yeah, you do.
Kuzon just like turns around.
I mean, like, it says check the divine information about enemy starship. Like,
Yeah, that's scan.
I can-
It works exactly the same as the science officer scan, scrying.
oh, I just figured since I'm not using any computer like instruments, I wouldn't be able to get a scientific breakdown of an anomaly like that.
Well, I guess it would
tell if it's
be
magical or
slightly
not.
different information, but since it says outright in the description it works the same, I would have to say that, yeah, like, it would be slightly different information, but you would get the general idea.
By the way,
Okay.
just a quick heads up, like, is everybody's connection okay? Because everybody, like, in the last couple of minutes I've been paying attention, everybody just constantly keeps talking over each other and they don't seem to notice. Like, is everybody's connection okay?
I think so. 1 second.
I feel
Maybe
like
it's
maybe
slightly delayed?
it's
Yeah, that's
lagging for
hard.
some of us, so maybe we're talking over each other without realizing it. I'm not sure.
If I am, I'm sorry.
I was just being a dick.
No. I'm not saying to fucking oust somebody out. I'm just trying to make sure is our connection okay. Like, is everything fine?
So,
I think it's-
I mean, when I was talking, I knew I was talking over him, but I wanted to make a meme about how Kuzon forgot to install the chicken coop for Thiveron's sacrifices, and like that was a joke that really needed to be made. You don't understand.
It's more
It's
important
man.
than you guys had to say.
I think we're going to be okay. According to this, the connection is a-okay for us.
Okay, well,
So-
I'm already recording, so go ahead.
We shall begin. You are currently flying through this water belt. I swear I'm not saying that right, but I'm saying it my way.
I'm gonna say we're swimming through space.
diaspora.
I feel like that's more romantic.
It's a Bora or something like that.
I prefer
yes.
swimming, Cash. Just so you know.
I don't care.
How dare you?
And currently, your cargo convoy that you're currently protecting is going through the designated safer pass of belt. After all, there are certain areas where, well, strange anomalies pop up. For instance, there is one near the belt which literally sucks it into another dimension. So this way tends to be the safest route.
Also,
No
just to
problem.
correct you,
Yeah.
Ash, they're bait. Get it right. They're bait. They're pirate bait.
Oh, pirate bait, understood.
Another dimension with lots of very interesting cultures, I think. Let's go fly there instead.
Is this the door to
Yes,
the other
do that.
dimension? Do we zoop through here and then, oh, no galaxy?
No. So,
We didn't need our drift drive at all. We could just fly through an anomaly instead.
also, anyone can control the ship.
Yes, I moved us behind the
assumed-
convoy because I'm assuming that makes sense.
I'm going to assume that Aiden is probably going to be primarily controlling the ship due to he's the pilot.
Yes, and also last time I
that's-
made sure that basically I took the action that I'm on guard or whatever it was.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna get a bonus to initiative checks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
gonna
I
hear-
also told you the future about potential.
Oh,
pirate
yes.
attacks.
Yes.
So you have that D20 reroll.
You do have that bonus.
Yes.
Currently, one of the lead oh my god, my dyslexia is going mad today. Cargo convoy, the lead one, is contacting you.
I accept the call. Anything the matter?
I'm just making sure that everything is clear on your end. We have not gotten any disturbances on ours.
Aiden, you see anything?
I'm gonna check the scanners. Nope, we're good.
No, everything's clear on our end.
I'll run a scan on these pocket of dusts.
They are really hard to scan through, however. You barely get a glimpse on your sensors that there is life forms past it.
Is it so it's like a lot of like, I guess my character would be fairly familiar. It's like a lot of like weird metals and other like random minerals all mixed together that kind of makes signals difficult to pass through it, basically.
Yeah, there's varying degrees of star metals, iron, all that sort of stuff that just has your sensors. Your sensors doesn't like it.
Kuzon just kind of like while he's trying to scan it, and he's just like, Aiden, keep your eyes peeled. These two dust clouds, they're not uncommon back where I come from, but their mineral compositions making scanning quite difficult. I have a vague reading that there's some life forms out this way, but I can't. The information I'm able to grasp a little bit limited on that. But just keep your eyes on it. It's a good hiding place.
Considering we're traveling on the safe road, you think these pirates are dumb enough to try and jump us from one of these dust fields? It seems awfully dangerous. If there's a few rocks just flying around aimlessly in there, they're probably gonna fuck up their ships.
I mean, you're right, but you never know. We are in an alternate dimension right now.
Can we just call it hyperspace or something? It sounds a lot less threatening and concerning.
What do you mean hyperspace? What?
Aiden is just making a joke.
Oh.
If we actually had a question. One moment.
What do you mean hyperspace, Aiden?
What is this hyperspace?
You guys are terrible. Don't you read any comic books?
I think I saw the term in an old
Thiveron just like looks at you and then looks away.
Aiden is very versed in comic books because he reads a lot of them to little kids.
Thiveron doesn't read.
Yeah, Thiveron, that's not cool, man. In this day and age, you really need to learn how to read.
Oh,
Get over your disability.
Shots fired.
He realizes it's a joke, and he just kind of like laughs. Vince says, "I'll get right on that."
Is it one of those like polite, like that wasn't funny laughs, or does he?
No, it was a. I'll give you a pity laugh. It was a good joke.
Ah, yes,
Don't
pity
expect that
laughs.
message
The only
people
ones
anytime.
Moran ever gives me after she beats the shit out of me.
Yep. Or when like you need me to cast stabilize on you, and I'm like, oh no, it fizzled.
Bullshit.
You know what you have to do is if Aiden ever falls, you have to like pull out like a CPR guide and just be like, "Oh, this book! If only I could understand its content in order to help my friend Aiden."
If only I could read this spell book that would allow me to save your life. I guess I'll just have to amputate all your limbs, then stabilize you, because that's the way I was.
Prava left the comms wide open, by the way, so like, the convoy can hear all this banter.
The convoy's just
okay.
like, oh.
Aiden, you just have to translate the comic books into Black and Braille for me.
I don't know, man. I already spent like 5 years learning how to talk with my hands. I don't know if I can do bumps now.
Maybe if you get one of those 3D printing pens, you can like pick the pictures stick out.
Oh, hey, that's an idea. See, Prava gets it. Thinking outside the
I
box.
mean, I'll just print it off the internet. We can print in Braille.
Is that a
I am
thing?
fully
Fine,
expecting
amazing.
that Kuzon's workshop has a 3D printer.
Well, my RL group, that's how we've kind of like rationalized how things are built. Like you use the UPBs in like printers that print them into whatever you're trying to make.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it doesn't make sense to physically weld them into literally any substance. You need something that would convert and form it into what you want.
So, just out of
Then
curiosity,
your engineering prowess is you being able to work that machine. Can I do a scan of those creatures mystically?
Yes, you may. As you're sensing, well, mystically about these creatures, you do get a sense that they are, well, like a feeling of satisfied hunger. They are definitely creatures that are more passive than anything. They seem to feed on the rocks and the like.
And then can I take a life science to identify them?
Yes, you may. They are known as the Vavak to many of the system. They actually came on the Idra. They have a habit of latching themselves onto very large ships, but they are not carnivorous to said ships. They very much love like sucking up the very clouds that they are swimming in right now. If you ever had a fish tank, do you know those sucker shark fish that
Yep.
just latch onto the things? This is what they are, just about almost half the size of your ship. So they are still very big creatures.
Okay, so Thiveron will just relay that information and just say there. What did you say they were called?
The Vavak.
Vavarak?
Yes.
The creatures there, Vavarak, they are mostly harmless unless they attach to our ship, but they are preoccupied with the dust that they eat normally. We should be safe from them.
Sounds like a flag to me, but I'll have faith in you.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard about those things from some of the other mercenaries. When they travel on bigger ships, they kind of latch onto them, right? I heard that it's very popular to take selfies with them.
Prava perks up at that. Do you think we have time for a quick spacewalk?
Yeah, sadly, I don't think our ship is big enough for that, Prava. They'd probably wreck us or something.
Yeah, if those things approach our ship, I'm blasting them out of the sky.
They do look like giant manta rays, essentially. Like giant, almost ghostly ethereal manta rays. The skin on their, the flaps that make up their body is almost translucent, while the rest of their body is an icy blue.
Since we're all here, Aiden actually looks away from the steering wheel for a second, rustles through his pockets, taking out a couple of shiny metal objects. I've got something for you guys. I forgot to give them to you last time. Figured now's as good a time as any. And he lays out a couple of dog tags for everybody. And they're made of silver.
Great. Can opener?
Is this an attempt at humor as well?
Nah, I'm being serious here, lads. I'm gonna toss everybody, so I don't have to leave my piloting seat. I'm just gonna toss throughout the cockpit everybody their dog tags. They also have engravings on them, if you're interested. And yours,
forgot
Thiveron,
the collar and leash, my friend.
And yours, Thiveron, actually is covered with braille, so you can read it yourself.
And these do what? And Prava looks at it confused. He doesn't really understand the concept.
If you die a horrible, painful death, and we have a hard time recognizing your body, this has your name on it.
Thanks, Kuzon. Not exactly what I had in mind, but you are technically correct.
Encouraging. Thank you.
No. Don't mind him, Prava. He's just been a spoil sport. These are a form of camaraderie. I mean, I've worked with many mercenaries, so, it's good to have something to, feel like you belong. Think of it like our calling card or something, or, friendship bracelets, whatever, something like that. Trust me, it's gonna be good that you have one of those in case it's necessary. And I look towards Kuzon and I give him the stink eye.
Kuzon just has a shit-eating grin on his face while he slowly drapes it luxuriously over his neck.
By the way, if you're curious what they say on Thiveron, it says "Fear my blind rage," and on Kuzon, Kuzon's it says "Small, lean killing machine." On Prava's it says "Hello there."
Oh my god.
Check out my Twitter page. Smash that fucking like button.
It's just like a 20-minute sprawl. Make sure that you like and subscribe at the end of the video. And
it's like they check your dog tags. It's got your social media or log it. So when they check, it's like, if I'm dead, make sure to subscribe.
if I'm dead, be sure to take a selfie for me.
Ash, this is becoming way too meta. Bail, man. Abort mission.
Okay. Bye.
I'm just gonna say, out of character, it makes me really nervous that Ash has continued to move everything, and now we're in the center of the map.
I mean, let's be real, dude. We both know what's happening from both sides. This is like spelled ambush, like I don't know how many levels. Looks bad.
At this point, Kuzon's scanning, he is keeping his scanning active, but he's fucking eyeballing these things. He does not like them.
From the looks of things, we're not going to get to meet these pirates at all. We even get paid if we can't.
Almost as if on time with Prava saying that, your scanners light up.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Red's not a good sign.
You hear the truckers who is like, we got incoming. Marking us hostile until we know their intentions.
Okay, Prava snaps into serious mode and takes a look at the systems.
Kuzon turns off the open.
How many do we got? Closing comms for now. Don't want to broadcast too much to the enemy.
Seems that there's 3 of them.
I'm just gonna send a quick message and just be like, intentions, just like a blip, just being like, state your intentions.
As you do that, you hear overall it's just a general broadcast to all the ships in the vicinity, and you hear this very feminine, very almost authoritative voice go, "This is the pirate queen Vanessa. I suggest you give up now. Surrender, turn off your shields and weapons, and we'll just take what we need."
Kuzon's just gonna be super sarcastic, be like, "Oh, your demands are reasonable." Like puts off the radio. Ataika, shoot him!
Kuzon, Kuzon, keep an eye on our 5 o'clock. Our shields are weak from the the back. Remember, keep an eye on that motherfucker.
A science officer action, I believe you can, or I think it might be engineering. You can redirect the shields into different.
I can buff up the shields or whatever. It's an engineering thing.
So are you powering up weapons? Because that's going to start combat.
Yeah, no, we're powering.
Before we do that, though, I'm gonna assume that the ships in front of us are powering up their weapons as well.
Oh yeah, they're preparing weapons.
Oh yeah, we're powering up definitely.
So our hailing frequency and our frequency for communicating with them can be 2 different frequencies, so they're not.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like there's a secure frequency, and then there's
By the way, Ash, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think you played some freelancer music, and I approve of your choice. That was good stuff.
Thank you. And I'm playing it again since I've got to loop it. There you go, it's looping now.
Nice.
I thought it would be appropriate.
Well, considering we're rolling for initiative, I'm assuming I need to make a piloting check.
Nope.
Actually,
First
that
is
is not how it
engineering
goes,
phase.
weirdly enough.
What? The fuck?
Yes.
Here's how it works. It starts with an engineering phase, and then a piloting check, followed by a helm phase, in which you act and get to do stunts and stuff, and then a gunnery phase, and all of it is considered happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Do I get to act
okay.
like once every phase, or do I save my action for the phase that's like most applicable?
If you're the captain, yes, you can save your one action for whoever you think is going to need a buff.
Okay, gotcha.
Or
Yeah.
if you want to debuff the enemy ships, you can go over the hailing frequency and you can taunt and stuff like that. But yeah, you get one action per round, but you can take it in any phase.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So you got to pick and choose who's gonna be,
No, that makes total sense.
So
Yeah.
being the captain is actually pretty cool, because your role is very reactionary. You basically take your turn when it's the biggest advantage for your crew. That's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, in engineering, it's well, I guess I'll go first, and I'm going to scan the ship of the quote-unquote pirate queen that hailed us. I'm gonna.
I shall
Right.
mark that. I shall mark it with golden crossbones for Pirate Queen's ship.
Perfect.
Since you would probably know that's where the signal came from quite easily.
God damn it, Belmara.
I'm diverting. I just give Ataika like a quiet nod as I flick a switch and I divert some amount of power to the weapons.
Okay, so the DC is for this check is 5 plus 1.5 the starship tier of the enemy ship plus their countermeasure
And the
defense.
counter so yeah, basic info, it's small size ship. It has a forward facing laser turret. Its defenses, it has a rather weak forward facing shield. It doesn't have any shields on its sides or back. It has, for load, I guess that's cargo. For its cargo, it doesn't seem to have anything large. It seems personal effects. You can have one more. So, yeah, and there's also one person present on the ship, which would probably be the Pirate Queen herself.
There's only
So I'll
one
just.
person on the
So
ship.
this is what happens.
It's a small ship.
I don't know if anybody remembers this, but in my personal description, I did say, even though I'm blind, Thiveron wears a set of goggles around his neck, and he puts those on, and you just see him open his eyes for the first time, and you just see this bright orange glow coming out of his goggles, and then he just starts saying, "Small fighters, 1 crew each. Weak forward shields, nothing on the sides and front. Only a laser weapon mounted in front arcs."
As he says that, Kuzon like decides to have faith in Thiveron. He turns to Ataika and weak forward facing shield. You know what that means? And I'm going to use my action to do an engineering check to buff the weapon.
Oh, nice.
So I think it's a DC 10 plus starship level, and it'll make it so that any roll on a 1 on any damage die that our weapons do are treated as a 2 instead.
And next phase, since you just took your phase, would be the Helm Phase. Normally it could be the PC phase, piloting. Oh yeah,
So yeah,
make your piloting check.
Then Helm.
Piloting check, okay. By the way, I can't remember since maybe it was mentioned last session, I'm not sure, but these ships that are part of the convoy, how are their shields looking?
They don't seem to actually have, like, they have standard shields for taking things, but they seem more heavily armored than they do having shields.
Right. As Aiden's getting ready to maneuver, he yells out, "Prava, tell the convoy to keep going forward and just provide some support for us if they can. Tell them to keep shooting forward, we'll watch their back."
Alright, guys, keep moving, keep shooting. We're on your tail.
They rolled really bad. Okay, right.
If you roll higher, you get to see all their ending positions. So you can maneuver us into an advantageous spot before all the shooting.
Okay, I'm starting to get it, because I was like, are you fucking crazy? Why would I roll well and go last? Like, that makes no sense.
So
like,
you might want to order them in ascending.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I got that wrong. Right, there we go.
There we go.
Dude, that was so confusing there for a sec. Yeah, we can just go over here and be behind the leader.
Yep.
Very easily.
Right,
Let's use our super speed for an advantage here.
Well,
we don't have to focus on the one that's closest to us.
We did pay for good boosters, so let's just go over here behind the leader.
Yeah, if she thinks we can't get to her weak spot, she is sorely mistaken. That's how fast we are. We should try to invest in increasing our maneuverability rating now, because 2 axes is pretty low.
I'll invest points into the maneuver, or I'll invest like power or divert things in engineering check.
One,
I mean, if we were in a situation where we really needed to, I could always give that boy a second action.
I know, but
So
I'll do that like, after we air opening.
Hang on.
Ash, so
Yes.
here's the movement first of all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're gonna aim this way. Can we do that?
Your turret can aim all around you, so yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, we have our gun in a turret. Our facing won't be that way, but we can aim in a turret.
Remember to turn. You got to turn where you're facing.
There we go.
There you go. So in other words, your forward-facing heavy weapon is literally facing these.
Yep.
Well, we would be right here. We could get right here,
Yeah.
because that would be our one.
Well, he went 1, 2, 3.
Oh, did he start up right? Did he go
4,
here?
5. Like the way he pathed around, he's able to turn a little more than.
Yeah, I can turn many.
Okay.
So 1, 2,
Yeah, if we came down from
3,
here, yeah.
4, 5.
Oh, okay, well then, yeah, we'd only be able to turn.
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
only
that's
turn
right,
facing,
that only
so
goes
we have to
there.
be right there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Which
That
is
also
fine though,
works.
because
That
our
also
turret
works. Yeah.
can fire in our starboard.
Aiden suddenly peers fast to the left and smirks at Kuzon. Looks like we're not gonna have to redirect those shields after all. And then I zoom between this anomaly and the Pirate Queen. And before she realizes what's happening, I'm already behind her.
Alright, and you can still do a stunt. Oh,
okay,
wait, no, you can't. Never mind. Not until you're higher level.
Is firing at will
it's
a
true,
thing,
yeah.
or do I always not fire at will over here?
should I make some kind of check for that
Like
maneuver?
action.
No, you literally just moved.
Okay.
So, yeah. So DJ, you can either fire at will, which fires 2 weapons with a -4 modifier, or you can fire a single weapon with like no negative modifier.
Yeah.
I'm
Fire
just
at will.
gonna throw this out.
But
Up to you, Ash, since we already moved, but the evade stunt will give us +2 AC and target lock until the next round.
We'll see how much damage our weapons do. I'll just do.
Hang on, guys, hang on. We're still talking about wolves, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta take it one step at a time. Yeah.
Because in the evade action, you get to move as normal if you succeed. Would you allow us to retroactively roll that evade stunt? Because it won't change our movement at all if we're successful. If we're not, we just get negative AC, but we still move as normal. So we'd end up in the same spot regardless.
And the calculation is DC plus 1.5. Okay.
1.5 times the our starship tier.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So yeah, you may make a is it piloting check? I think it is.
Yeah. I'm gonna take, since we have 4 +1s, I'm gonna use another +1 from the computer.
You can only use one once per phase.
But do we need any of the enemies even target us? Is there a single person in this battlefield who can even hit us?
No, nobody can hit us right now. We're basically invulnerable.
If they're starship, if they're like fighter ships, they have perfect maneuverability, meaning they can change to any facing they want whenever they want.
Okay, I'm gonna make that roll now. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Look
right,
at that.
So you definitely get +2 to your AC and target.
Target lock.
Pardon me. Sorry, I burped.
Okay, for the gunnery. For the gunner, can we use the computer to give Kuzon an edge?
I'm also going to take my action at the start of the gunning phase, and I'm going to give him the order to fire at will. So I'm going to give him the order to do that, and then he can take another action after if the order is a success.
Yeah, so this is the Taika shooting, but yeah.
Nice.
So which one is that? Is it demand, encourage, taunt, orders, or moving speech?
Orders. So I'm going to spend a resolve.
You have to be level 6 for that.
Level. Okay, never mind. Oops.
Yep.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It costs you a resolve.
Never mind then. I'm going to instead then. I'm going to encourage them and be like, Ataika, this is it. Our first battle. I know you can do this. Fire at will. And I'll make a diplomacy check. DC 15 to encourage him.
This is Captain Prava of the Perseverance. Your shit is about to get wrecked.
I like how your name rolls with the word Perseverance. Prava of the Perseverance. I am
you
very
encourage
encouraged.
Ataika.
DC
+2 on targeted check.
Do you want me to use the computer or have Ataika use the computer? Probably, right?
Might as well, because every round we get to use the computer.
Yeah, use the computer, dude.
But we might as well spend it. This is the last phase.
It says forward, port, aft, starboard. That's not relevant, is it?
If you look on the Perseverance, it depends on what weapons you're firing. For instance, I think at fire at will, where you fire all weapons, you can fire both the missile battery and the laser turret. Yes,
Also, roll again?
6. Yeah, I think you actually hit.
Oh yeah, so that's instead of 5, it's 6 damage.
Hang on, you're using fire at will, correct?
Yeah, so how does that work? Oh no, that's both die. That's right, that is both die there.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's not. It's 2d4 from one. So I have to do it on the second one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's already calculated into the -4 anyway.
Yeah, and it's also
So,
missing the +2 that I gave him to the fire at will.
Yeah. So yeah, roll another one since you're firing both.
We have to fire 2 separate weapons.
I don't use computer twice, do I? I just use it once.
Yeah, just once.
Hmm.
It's for the same attack, so.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do we have 2 separate laser weapons?
We do.
Oh, okay.
So that's 10.
According to
I'm
this-
assuming that's not gonna work.
You have a transport frame.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
actually
one
not.
misses.
He gets a
Hang on.
+2.
I think we may be lagging, as Zira said, since you keep talking over me. Stop. God.
Yeah, I
Right.
told you, man, something's wrong with the connection.
So essentially, yes, your first attack does in fact hit for 6 damage due to the boost. And as you fire, your laser slices across the small fighter. Let me just... That was a very solid hit. And now others are going to take their turn.
Kuzon smiling broadly. Yes.
It would have been so hilarious if we took out their leader in the first round. Nice, they're all weak.
No, that was the transport ships.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
So essentially, this one's just trying to fire at the one you were hitting, completely missing. This one was firing at this one, and basically just hits its shields. And this one fires at the other one, and basically just whiffs, destroys
Sprays
a few
and praise.
asteroids behind it.
Sprays and praise, man. Sprays and praise.
Right, so is that the gunnery phase done? Yep, and the damage phase, everybody takes damage at that phase. And now we go back to the open phase and then the engineering phase. So yes, Thiveron, you can maybe take your magic officer.
That allows us a lot of cinematic freedom for good narration and stuff. So I like it. I am going to use Precognition to sense where the enemy ships are going to move and and the effect is Aiden will get an additional +2 on his piloting check. Because I don't think we need Eldritch Shot to increase our range right now. Because we're super fast, so we're gonna be on whoever we want, I think.
Yeah. Those thrusters are really paying off, man. Good shit.
Oh yeah, do we have a arcane laboratory on the ship?
Yes.
Yeah,
So I get a +2 to these checks, don't I?
Yep. Ooh, 27. Nice. So that is
29 total.
That is definitely a +2 to your next piloting check.
So I start with this orange light like flaring out of my goggles. I turn to Aiden and I just start spouting call signs of the enemy ships and coordinates for where they're going to be moving.
Aiden's gonna take note of that as he prepares the next action.
Yep. Kuzon, it's now your turn. What are you doing during the engineering phase?
Well, I think how this works, make sure I understand this. So at the top of the round, I switch. So what I'm
So,
going
yeah, are you? Let's just say, since of the slightly rule markups, I'll allow you to be in the officer's chair. So since it's pretty close, so are you in the officer's chair and you want to take it in the Helm phase? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, my apologies. We'll make
Okay,
sure
right.
to sort this out.
It's fine. It's fine. This is
target. I want to target her system.
all right.
I have to roll a. It says DC.
Oh, hang on a second. Sorry, wait a second, Kuzon. There is one thing. The piloting check must be made before the Helm phase. So, yeah, first make the piloting check. It's like I'm actually playing against you guys for this system. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's almost like a chess match.
That's kind of cool.
Right, now you move, Aiden.
Okay. Well, this boy's in trouble, and this guy seems to be aiming at this boy, correct?
Well, they're firing arcs, so like.
All I need to know is, can this guy shoot here?
Yes.
Oh boy, okay.
This guy can shoot like anywhere around here.
The Pirate Queen is out of range out of this guy, so we basically need to protect this boy from these two boys. Gotcha. Well, we're already facing that way, so we're going in, boys. Hold on to something.
If you're gonna do an evade action, technically you have to roll one now before.
You could also take a maneuver action to make it so that you can go like 1 and then turn, and then 1 and then turn, and that'll give us more options as far as facing goes.
Okay, so here's the move. We're moving here and we're facing this way, so they're both basically on our sides. How's that?
Open fire! I'll use
Right.
the computer.
So gunnery phase.
Right, so at the start of the gunnery phase, I'm going to take my taunt action. I'm going to taunt this boy right here. And I'm going to be like, look! Your pirate queen is scurrying off to hide in the asteroids. And I'm gonna make a bluff check. And if I succeed a DC 15 plus 1.5 times their ship level, then they will get a -2 to all their actions for the next 1d4 rounds during the gunnery phase. So...
I don't know. Is the how's the attack roll affect the micro missile battery? Does it not?
You're actually they are in actually the prime position. I think. One second. Let
Yeah,
me
they
check
are.
something.
So I rolled a 7. I did the micro missile battery, but then I kind of realized, wait, do I do attack rolls for the micro missile battery?
Yes, you do.
Okay. So I only rolled it.
If you beat their, because it's tracking, if you beat their target lock, the missile becomes its own little token and continues to travel toward them every turn.
I'll fire the laser light cannon at the other guy. So I'm firing at will. I'm engaging one of the laser light cannons. And
I don't know why it lets you lock on apart from like movement. Anyway, carry on. Alright, so you're firing a rocket. Please fire a rocket.
Oh. Sorry, I rolled a 7 on both rolls for a light laser cannon and the rocket. It's no good.
No bueno.
Well, it's a distraction anyway.
It rushes past. It's off that. It's off this direction now. It's free.
We're
It's
gonna
easy
have
to
to
do
work
what
on that aim, Kuzon.
Not me.
I forgot to turn on the lock on. Right. So, engineering. No, yeah, I believe engineering now. And I believe Thiveron's the only one who takes an action.
Yep. So I'm going to continue to battle coordinates of where I believe those ships are going to be going.
Oh, hang on. What am I talking about? I am so
Enemy
sorry.
gunning phase.
I was totally focused on the
Oh,
missile.
I guess we'll give you a freebie, Ash. I guess we'll give you a freebie.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Right, so this
God.
guy for the next 4 rounds is -2 to all checks during the gunnery phase.
Yep.
You might wanna mark him or you'll forget him.
Wow. Okay. Let me mark him. I put a little sad face. He's demoralized. Oh, actually,
Aww.
I don't think you're AC. Yeah, you're AC. So in other words, because he was so demoralized, he tries firing at you, but he just misses. His bullets just go off into this direction. His lasers.
Prava made his bullets sad and impotent.
Exactly. Right, and this one actually has a different weapon on him.
If we have a point defense style weapon, one of our gunners can fire at it. I forget the DC, but you can destroy the missile as it's coming at you with a point defense weapon, which is why I recommended it.
Right.
But if we
and
don't, it hits us.
I would say your forward shields take 6 damage.
Nothing.
How much do we
Don't
have?
know.
You had 10 and now you have 4 left.
Oh boy.
I believe that is our starboard facing.
Is that starboard or?
Oh boy.
I believe that is our starboard.
Oh,
Okay,
Jesus.
one of them actually got a critical.
Oh, wait. How much shield did you say we have? Didn't we get the light shields? We should have 50 points of shield, not 10.
Well, yeah, but it's spread
it's
out.
50 points shared.
Yeah, it's spread out.
Okay, share between the. Okay.
Yeah.
So I,
Right,
I can
so-
I can redistribute them somewhat
Gotcha.
and like move it from the back to the front. But
Well,
it
apparently
makes
That
it
makes
even.
sense. Never mind. I get it now.
Apparently this guy really wants revenge because he just critical this dude.
Fuck him up.
I got to roll D100. 1D100.
Oh.
What did he glitch? Let's see.
98's gotta be really good.
Let's see. Power core. Fuck me. This transport hit the pirate ship hard. -2. Wow, this dude is not doing so well.
What happened to him?
Yeah, just
There are
glitch.
3 stages, and once you get to the final and 4th stage, it is wrecked, and then it stops functioning. But until then, there's a bunch of stuff tied to the power core that gets minuses until it's wrecked.
Ah, gotcha.
So it gets a -2, so everything to do with the power core, and I think almost everything has to do with the power core.
All engineering actions except hold it together and patch will receive a -2.
Now it's the engineering phase. Okay, we're getting
And then-
faster now.
Is there? Okay, I think we have to do a standard procedure for this to make sure I don't miss it. I would like. I'm just gonna redirect some of the shields from the back of our ship to the front. See if it works. look at me, rolling high. And then the reason why I said it is at the top of the turn, I want to switch. The top of the next turn, I'm switching to engineer again.
Okay, so what are you? How much shields are you putting into that?
I'm just like taking 5 shields off of the shields in the back and adding those shields to the front.
So magic officer action. I'm still just going to keep blurting out coordinates to Aiden.
Do
And
this.
I believe that's my cue to make a piloting check.
Well, if Kuzon's switching to engineering now that it's the next round, he would also go before you.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just gonna use the divert action, and I'm gonna add 5% PCU distributed to shield as desired. So I'm just gonna patch up that hole.
Just remember, we can't go over our max our max shield points though.
Right, and now it's piloting check time.
Okay, so +2 from Thiveron and +1 from the computers. So that's a +3.
It's your turn. Where are you moving?
Well, I'm not sure if this is a standard procedure and maneuver in the book, Ash, but I want to make a loop-de-loop and ram this guy into the fucking electricity.
Ramming check.
I want to ram him forward.
Kuzon's not gonna like this, you know that, right?
I know, but I'm doing it anyway. Here we go.
Can you show us
There's a reason why I diverted shields to the front.
We're going, boys. We're going. Yes.
21. So you do hit. I'm gonna say since your category larger was 1d4 damage to him, but also 1d4 damage to you. And he's gonna go back into the anomaly. So
Prava
7.
like lurches forward in the seat, like maybe warn us next time.
Yes, the ship crashes into the other one, lurching you forward as you actually see the screen is slightly crack from the impact as you see bits of your ship just debris off a bit. Turns out that shields don't help against ramming speed.
Kuzon's like face is just like, Aiden, no.
Relax, it's all calculated.
Aiden,
We got this, Kuzon.
Aiden, why?
I'm
You have
not
to-
paying for that.
You have to remember, I've been a pilot for 1 month. I think this is how piloting works.
You watch too
hang on.
many hollow films.
Maybe our next investment is piloting school for you.
So essentially, you basically, I'm gonna say, you move him back into the anomaly. He takes some lovely damage on him, and also I'm gonna give him a critical effect. Turns out it damages engines. Nice. His engines are now glitching. Right, during that whole weird, crazy stuff, it's still the flipping piloting phase, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Next, nobody can go in there, so the gunnery phase is next.
Okay, so at the start of the gunnery phase, I'm gonna encourage Ataika again and be like, look, the first round you did great. Just do the same thing you did the first shot.
Only hit this time.
Too
What
funny,
I'm
your
getting
ship,
from
shit.
this, Kuzon, is that you have to install some kind of spear tip at the front of the ship for me.
Kuzon's just sweating.
Right, so you've been encouraged, Kuzon, but before you roll, somebody's faster than you.
Faster than me.
Yeah, it's one of
Nobody's
our boys. He has a 24.
Nice.
Yeah, sadly he's still not as good of a shot, so it's just like boo, 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 boo.
Is that the
Now you
noise
get
his
to try
weapons make? Boo, 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 boo.
Yeah, boo, boo, boo.
No wonder nobody's
Right.
scared of him.
So
We're in
Ataika
space,
can now fire.
Nice.
I mean, honestly, I just kind of want to fire the missiles directly at him.
Go for it, man. Remember, +1.
And +2 from my.
Oh yeah, +3.
encouragement.
+3, and I won't open fire. I'll just fire. Because I don't think we need to open fire.
Yeah.
Or fire at will.
One good shot should get him.
Use computers, yes.
It's a shame you're not aiming all these towards every one of the pirates, because your battery does have a unique talent.
It does?
Yeah, it's called an array. So if you had all the pirates in your sight, you could literally fire at all of them. Just
Oh, I'll keep that in mind for next time then.
Yeah, I rolled a 23. with
24.
Props bonus. A 24. Well, I had good computers with that roll.
7 damage.
Yeah.
So in other words, not only is in the electric, he's like, he hears, god damn it, over suddenly the comms, and all you see is these missiles start coming towards him. He's like, oh god damn it. As there's just even more explosions on him.
Oh my
And
god,
you can
he's
see his
still kicking.
ship's not looking good.
I want that ship.
It's literally barely alive.
I guess we're not going in after him.
Right, which one's this? Okay. 7. And that would have hit your
Side.
starboard. And that takes your shields right back down to 8 on that side after Kuzon so nicely fixed them before.
I mean, this is why we fix shields. If I didn't think it was going to get hit again, I wouldn't have fixed it.
I would say he can't shoot at this one. Yeah, no one's within his range. But you are still within the Pirate Queen's range, so...
No bully. Aha! Works every
Nope.
time. No bully. I called the no bully, Ash.
Let's see how good these guys are. They're not very good at all.
Not if they crit fail, crit succeed again. Nope, never mind.
1 second.
Wait, that guy's close. Maybe he did hit. Oh, yeah, I
Okay,
remember. This guy has minuses.
Yep. Okay, so he did hit, but he didn't do too much damage.
And he has -2 if it's a regular action. If it's a push action, he has -4.
Right, so he's slightly more damaged and critically damaged. And yes, now we start the new phase, I believe.
Yeah.
God, these guys' sudden tactics are not working against you. Poor guys with junker ships, meant for raiding. You just come in, ruin their days.
Yes, we ruined their days with our ship that has pretty much no weapons and we're literally a freighter. Fuck them.
Yeah, but you move like a goddamn mosquito, even compared to the size of their ships.
Yeah,
Anyway,
you know why?
engineering phase.
Because
Thiveron.
it pays to be mobile, baby. Whoa.
30
I'm just following
to
the rules
continue
here.
babbling future coordinates of the ships to Aiden.
You now know, you know that you got to move first. You know, so you get +2.
So
And,
I'll divert to weapons then, because if we have a higher chance to hit, then I'm going to divert, so we're more likely to fuck them up.
All right then. So that's yeah, you have to
Engineering.
roll. Yep. So any 1s are now a 2s, and now piloting check.
Right, piloting check, here we go. With a +3. So that's
Do you know
a
what
29.
you've done to yourself, by the way?
Sorry, what?
You're gonna have to use the maneuver action.
Oh
you don't
yeah,
wanna
I
go
will. I
straight
will.
into them again.
No, we're maneuvering out of that shit. No, fuck that. 29 to maneuver.
Yep. So well, remember, this is a piloting check to how fast you're gonna act.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not your
Yeah,
move action.
I'm gonna maneuver for us to not have to go into that fucking mess.
And tell me when that Helm Phase starts, because I'm also going to encourage him, because I feel like this is one he really can't fuck up.
Right, there we go. This guy, since he's still in the thing and has to go through it, I'm gonna say he does take a little extra So as soon as he starts moving, all you see is aha!
And then his ship just deactivates.
Yeah, it's just like aha, and it just starts floating past like through the screen like.
So technically he's not dead, it's just that his ship is like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah, disabled. His ship had just decided to disable itself. Yep, all the transports are going to stay exactly where they are. So, Aiden, it's your turn.
Right.
How are you moving?
Now, before everybody freaks out and has a panic attack, I'm just gonna say ahead of time this is a joke. I was thinking, let's maneuver and ram them again! No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Firing daggers at you.
We're not doing that.
He gets up out of the captain's chair, and he walks over and he puts an encouraging hand on Aiden's shoulder.
Is it just silent nod of acknowledgement?
Just silently, like pupils are like tiny, just like hyper focus. Like his like irises are just like he's just shaking like in place.
Right, so since I'm gonna be making a roll for a maneuver, that means instead of having to move two hexes, I can move at 1 hex, right?
Yep. So you could go here and then face this direction. So if you do that, then you
So
can.
if I face like this, can we hit them both with missiles?
Yes.
Perfect. That's the maneuver I'm doing. So as soon as the pirate queen like checks out her men getting out of the asteroid belt, the next moment she looks forward, and all she sees is Aiden in her face. Hello there.
Hello there. Yeah, she just.
Right, I'm doing the piloting check now.
What the fuck?
So that's a
Don't
20.
forget your +2.
Yep. So that's a 27.
Yep.
Hello there.
Right. And also, I'm gonna let it go again this time. But remember, roll before you move.
Oh. Well, if I
Let
didn't
it
throw,
go.
I can't actually make the maneuver, so it would have been illegal anyway.
It's a rebellion. We're gonna wrest control of the movement from Ash.
The players decide now. No, wait.
Freedom!
Ash, the way I
Right.
see it, you have 2 ships in this fight. We have 4, so we outnumber you, bro.
Oh, is that how this game works now?
Oh my god, this is Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Right.
Anyway.
So gunnery time.
I assume we don't want to do a full attack. We just want to shoot a regular shot with the battery, right?
Honestly, I'd say hit them both with the missile, dude. Go nuts.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
That's,
So I
that's a
do
single.
one
That is
shot.
a single attack. The unique thing of your missile battery is the fact that it can fire an array of missiles. So
Oh,
it's just
yeah,
basically
perfect.
one attack to fire at all of them.
Take it away, man. Have fun.
Use computers, yes.
+1.
14 plus 1, 15. That does fire. That does hit her forward shields. It does take them out though, so we have to mark that down.
Also, he did the
Remember, we
thing
have
where
limited fire 5 too, so we only have 5 missiles in this time.
You only have 1 missile left.
he did
No,
the
wait,
thing.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, we fired 1, so we have 2 more. Also, remember that in the engineering phase, he did a thing where he boosted the damage, so that 1 becomes a 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's how it works. Number 1, you fired a missile and missed. Number 2, you fired another missile and hit. And number 3, you fired another missile, hit the anomaly one, so you have 2 left, and you're currently firing them at these enemies. Because I've been keeping track. So in other words, you expend the rest of your missiles just poof.
Oh,
swarm of
yeah,
missiles
you're right.
out.
I forgot we fired at the other guy as well. Yeah, you're right.
Right, so that's 1, so that's 6. Okay, so actually 1 does get through her health. So that's slightly more damaged, but you hit this one starboard, and 6. Boom. As you just see, one of the ships just explode in almost confetti-like manner. Of course, it's not actually exploded, but the missile explodes in confetti-like manner.
I'm not sure about
party
Star
poppers.
Combat, but are we allowed to do combat banter like in normal combat?
Yes.
Yeah, my combat banter is literally, we open up a channel between us and I tell Prava, take your dog tag and put it to the screen. And there's a troll face saying, hello there.
Oh no.
Mad, bro.
Right, hang on. Let's see if the Pirate Queen's gonna get.
Mad cause bad, bro.
Oh, she hits your forward shields though, so
Our force shields are especially reinforced.
We can take it.
6. I love the fact that this combat took longer because you guys don't have many weapons, but your just sheer maneuverability and your sheer shields have made you avoid so much stuff.
Yep. I mean, that was the plan all along, man. We wanna be fast and with survivability. That's the thing.
Again, I like how you're adapting to your certain unique traits that you've developed for yourself. It's
Yep.
nice.
What's
Right,
that?
and
We
now
don't...
this is probably going to turn out
What's
bad.
that? Our weapons are not good enough? Fuck it, just ram the enemy ship.
Yeah, to be honest, we just want the full freedom. It might sound bad if things were going south and this ship line was like not doing well. We want the full freedom to just leave.
Exactly. Here's the thing about mercenaries. Yeah, we do the job, but when the job gets screwed sideways, it's time to fucking leave, motherfucker.
Okay, so as you're all like, and she's firing on you, all you see is like all the ships just fire in on her, just, and eventually her too just, as suddenly it just goes silent.
So the ship's in one piece though. There's probably like everyone in it's still probably alive. It's just off.
Yeah.
Or did the ship like explode?
Yeah, I
in
think all the
pieces?
ships are alive. They're just
Okay.
depowered.
Prava opens a comms channel to the pirate queen. He's like, "So, feel like surrendering?"
I think we could talk about this.
I don't think we're in a conversation anymore. This is a time for demands.